Hello and welcome back to the channel. You find me in the Clio, sat outside of EFI Parts, who are pretty much the go-to Renault tuners. Not only standalone ECUs but OEM ECU calibrations. If you follow my channel, you'd have seen that I've been here a fair few times before. Anything Renault related, I bring the car to Chris. There's no one else I'd really trust to do any of the mapping on the cars, to be honest. So yeah, we've added a load of upgrades to the Clio, so we're back to Chris at EFI Parts. So on the car, just to run down the mods that we've got the Mamba Tech Turbo, the 21T I think they call it. It's the biggest bolt-on turbo in a stock frame that you can get. It's actually sold for a Nissan Juke, which shares the same engine as this. Yeah, what else have we got done? We've got the K-Tech Racing downpipe. That's a Decat 3-inch front downpipe and then a 3-inch Decat front pipe, because the car has two cats from factory. We've knocked up a 3-inch turbo intake pipe, which goes to a bow mouth that's then been ported to the turbocharger. That was made up by Scott. Thanks very much, Scott. We've got an ITG filter on the end of that, enclosed. I've chopped up the bracketry to push it further forward so it gets a little bit more cold air and just so it fits nicely in the bay. We've got a Forge Motorsport front mount intercooler kit. So far so good. I've been monitoring the inlet temps. I've not pushed it hard because obviously we're not mapped, but inlet temps are always less than 10 degrees above ambient at the moment. Generally around 4 degrees most of the time. We'll see how that goes when we start pushing some air through it. We've also got an AirTech cold side boost pipe kit, which removes the plastic stuff on there. And then last minute, a chap called Ian on the Facebook groups and Tur over from Deca Motorsport both advised me that I'd probably need a fuel pump to feed the engine a bit more juice, a bit more flow more than anything. So we've also fitted a Cytec in-tank fuel pump that feeds then the factory high pressure fuel pump and the factory injectors, which I'm assuming are perfectly fine for what we're going to get out of this. To be honest, I have no idea where we're going to end up. Originally I wanted 270 brake because the Clio RS, I can't even remember what they called it, Renault built a few 2-litre turbo versions of this that were potentially going to go on sale but didn't in the end. They came with 270 brake. They also had a few different suspension changes, a body kit. I think they had a limited slip diff box and everything, but yeah, I'm just looking for somewhere around 270 brake. I'm not sure what we're going to come up against, what issues may arise. I'm actually concerned a little bit that the gearbox or the clutch packs might pack up or not take the abuse. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. It's a really grim and miserable day. It's cool-ish. My car's saying it's about 12 degrees outside. I'm not sure if that's going to help with making a bit more power today, but we'll see how we get on. Fingers crossed, nothing lets go, nothing blows up. Remember, I did build this on my driveway, and hopefully we get some really good results. Catch you shortly.
and welcome back. Suppose I'd best give you all an update on how the mapping went, and to be honest, I can't be happier. Yeah, so we got on the dyno. Chris flashed on a base map just to make sure that we were all okay and safe to run, and started doing some polls. Yeah, I think we started off something low. It came in at 230 brake maybe, then 260 came, and then we tweaked throughout the day. At one point we had to close the gap down on the spark plugs a little bit. The standard spark plugs have got massive gaps. So yeah, closed them up because the sparks started to get blown out. And yeah, we ended up rolling away with 307.5 horsepower, which is monstrous. We're nearing the limits of flow from the injectors, so if I want more, I'm gonna need to have a look at that. We're also at the limitation of the gearbox for revs. We've kept the torque relatively low, just generally so that the clutch packs and the gearbox don't take too much of a battering. So we're producing just under 260 foot-pounds, which is tabletop delivery. It comes on strong. I think we're on full chat by around 4k, and then it just holds that all the way to the rev limiter, which is now set just off 6800 RPM. So yeah, it's still making power. It could do with some extra revs. The gearbox is stopping us from doing that. So I need to have someone look into the gearbox software as well, and the coding on there, to see if there's anything that could be changed. Because it would be nice to have another 500 to 1000 RPM, keep pushing the boost up at the top end, and yeah, make yet more power. Over in the States, these engines rev up to 7.5, nearly 8 grand when you start putting retainers and springs in there. So I know the engine's pretty solid for it. It's just the Clio EDC gearbox which is kind of limiting us on the tuning side of things, really. But yeah, absolutely amazing job by Chris as always. As I've said before, I go nowhere else. EFI Parts is where I go for all my Renault tuning. With this, the previous Twingo, which was mapped like 3 or 4 times because it had 2 different engines, loads of different turbo setups. Chris did everything on the OEM ECU for me there, and he's already put some silly ideas in my head for this car. But we'll see where we get to and where we're at. The down pipe and the front pipe obviously help it flow nicely. For general day-to-day driving, it comes up on boost really quick. The gearbox does its thing anyway, but we're getting full usable boost. Well, I say not full, but usable boost and drivability above, what's that? That's less than 2,500 RPM. You wouldn't even notice it's on a massive hybrid, to be honest. Yeah, it's a good choice. It's not, that turbo isn't the right choice for everybody. Like I say, I'm looking to push higher than we've already got in the future, and the build of it all is a bit of a project for me. I love to tinker, as you've probably seen on the other videos. So we'll see where we get to. I've got to start doing some timing on draggy for this. I think the best time we got, 60 to 100, was 9.5 seconds on the standard car. I've only done a brief test so far, and we've already hit 7.07 seconds, 60 to 100. So we've shaved 2 seconds off the 60 to 100 time that this used to have. I'm sure there's more to come. I will record it for you. I will get you some sound clips and videos of it being driven. So yeah, as a wrap up, the hybrid turbo, decat down pipe, decat front pipe, which are 3-inch items from K-Tech Racing. We've got the AirTech cold side boost pipe on there. We've got a custom intake pipe with an ITG filter. We've got a Forged Motorsport front mount intercooler. And as a note on that, we were only seeing gains of about 8 degrees on pulse when on the dyno, which was pretty good. So yeah, I think it's doing its thing. It's definitely doing better than the standard intercooler would. We'll see how we get on with that when we start pushing for more power again, but at the moment intake temps pretty solid. When I've been logging them a little bit in the last couple of days, yeah, we've seen 10-12 degrees over ambient when leaning on it, which is exceptional, to be fair. I can't say I've seen above 30 degrees yet, bearing in mind the standard intercooler I was seeing in the standard setup 60+ degrees inlet temps. So yeah, definitely an improvement there, but there's still more to come. I'll get you more videos. Hopefully you like the content, and yeah, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely excellent. I'm actually nearing 1,000 subscribers, which isn't a massive amount compared to some of the other YouTubers out there, but it is a target I've got for the channel. So if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely excellent. I'd really appreciate it. I might do some gimmicky giveaway at 1,000. I did one at 500 with a box of crap that I found around my garage. But yeah, all in all, the car's absolutely fucking amazing now.